Broken Spears, the Aztec account of the conquest of Mexico by Miguel León Portilla. Extract from An Elegy for Tenochtitlan. Broken spears lie in the roads. We have torn our hair in our grief. The houses are roofless now, and their walls are red with blood. In this video I'm going to do something a little bit different than the other ones. I'm going to bring two perspectives or two accounts together, which may not be completely connected, but there's something about how to present it that I really like. The first one is from the Aztec accounts of the conquest of Mexico, and this is a traumatic encounter between the Conquistadores and the Aztecs, and how it's told is what really fascinates me and draws me in. It reminds me a lot of the ancient Irish histories, the accounts of the time. And what they really show you is, they do describe events as they occurred, but they try to give you a sort of a very factual description of the events. But it's the perspective and how the telling of it is done, which brings us into the psychology of a pre-medieval mind, or a mind sort of formed by the mythological perspective. The accounts of the Aztecs and how they describe this, and what they appeal to, and the visual language that they use, is fascinating. The Battle of Clontarf, which I've talked about before, has this same type of bombastic perspective, has the appeal to a sort of a mythological sensibility. I'm going to also do finish this off with a piece of music which is based on Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost, of course, is this epic poem which deals with humanity's desire to control all and to know all. And this sort of goes back to a very mythological account of the eternal conflict of man and man's ego, which is taken from the opening book of the Bible, from Genesis. These two narratives aren't necessarily connected in any way. It's just how they're told that I think the tone of them and the mythological perspective of them, which makes me sort of see, that makes me want to put a juxtaposition between these two. Anyway, if you like it, I'd like to know what you think about it. So please feel free to comment below. Find us on YouTube, find it on Rumble, and wherever else you might be watching it. Account from the Historia Tlaxcala by Diego Muñoz Camargo. Their fate in the idol was so complete that they believed it would ravage their enemies with fire and thunder of heaven, and drown them in a vast flood of water. This is what they believed, and they proclaimed it in loud voices. Let the strangers come, we'll see if they are so powerful. Our God, Quetzalcoatl, is here with us, and they can never defeat him. Let them come, the weaklings. We are waiting to see them, and we laugh at their stupid delusions. They are fools or madmen. If they trust in these sodomites from Tlaxcala, who are nothing but their women, and let the hirelings come too. They've sold themselves in their terror. Look at the scum of Tlaxcala, the cowards of Tlaxcala, the guilty ones. They were conquered by the city of Mexico, and now they bring strangers to defend them. How could you change so soon? How could you put yourselves in the hands of these foreign savages? Oh, you frightened beggars! You've lost the immortal glory that was won by your heroes, who sprang from the pure blood of the ancient Teochichimecas, the founders of your nation. What will become of you, you traitors? We're waiting, and you will see how our God, Quetzalcoatl, punishes his foes. They shouted these and other similar insults because they believed that the enemy would surely be consumed by bolts of fire, which would fall from heaven, and that great rivers of water would pour from the temples of their idols to drown both the Tlaxcaltecas and the Spanish soldiers. This caused the Tlaxcaltecas no little fear and concern, for they believed that all would happen as the Cholultecas predicted, and the priests of the temple of Quetzalcoatl proclaimed it at the top of their voices. The account continues. The Cholultecas said that their foes would all be drowned by their idol Quetzalcoatl. This was the most venerated idol amongst the many that were worshipped in this land, and its temple at Cholula was considered a shrine of the gods. They said that when the crust was scraped from the portion of the lime surface of the temple, water gushed out. To save themselves from drowning, they sacrificed children of 2 or 3 years of age and mixed their blood with lime to make a kind of cement, which would stop up the springs and founts. They said that if they were in danger during a war with the white gods and the Tlaxcaltecas, they would break open all the mortared surfaces, from which a flood of water would pour forth to drown their enemies. And when they saw how hard pressed they were, they set to work. But none of their expectations was fulfilled, and they lost all hope. Of those who died in the Battle of Cholula, the greater number hurled themselves into the temple pyramid in their despair, and they also hurled the idol of Quetzalcoatl head first from the pyramid, for this form of suicide has always been a custom amongst them. They were as rebellious and contemptuous as any stiff-necked, ungovernable people, and it was their custom to die in a manner contrary to that of other nations, that is, to die headlong. In the end, the greater part of them died in despair by killing themselves. When Cholula had been stormed and destroyed, and a great host of people killed and plundered, our armies marched forward again, causing terror wherever they went, until the news of the destruction spread through the whole land. The people were astonished to hear such strange reports, and to learn how the Cholultecas were defeated and slain in so short a time, and how their idol Quetzalcoatl had not served them in any way. Full soon amongst them he arrived, grasping 10,000 thunders. Astonished, all resistance lost, all courage down their weapons dropped, and of their wonted vigour left them drained, exhausted, spiritless, that wish the mountains then might be thrown on them as shelter from his ire. O'er shields and helmed heads he rode, as timorous flocks together thronged. 9 days they fell, and chaos roared, and felt tenfold confusion. One spirit in them ruled alike, and every eye glared lightning. And yawning hell received them whole, and on them closed their habitation. With jubilee advanced, and as they went each order sung triumphant, and him sung victorious king, so near to him dominion given. Worthiest to reign, he rode triumphant through mid-heaven, into the courts and temple of his mighty Father throned on high. At thy request I have revealed what might have else to you been hidden. He who envies now thy state, plotting how he may seduce you, bereaved of happiness partake his punishment, eternal misery. For thee to gain companion would be all his solace and revenge.